We're going live on HOGGOUT tonight, and there's plenty to talk about. Sunrisers Hyderabad absolutely annihilating Lucknow Supergiants last night and really knocking them off out the head. So really looking forward to talking about that. And we've got the big game tonight, RCB and Punjab Kings 11. Both of them have got their nose above water, still breathing. Who will stay in the race and challenge a spot in the top four? Let's find out after this little break. Now, I can't believe that a team made 100 more runs than their opponents in 10 overs. That's the final 10 overs of their innings and still lost the game. That's Lucknow Supergiants. Sunrisers didn't score a run in their last 10 overs because they didn't have to. They chased down 167 in 9.4 overs. This was unbelievable. And Sunrisers Hyderabad, I love the way that they're going about their business. They're playing aggressive brand of cricket. They've got to keep going like this, but it's a little bit hit and miss. When you play that aggression, sometimes they've lost early wickets and they haven't been able to recalibrate, get back into the contest, and they just capitulate. So when it comes to finals, they've got to make sure that they finish in the top two and only play 2 games in the finals because they don't want to play 3 games because I think that would be too much for the brand that they play, and they might capitulate and lose early wickets in one of those games. But we've got some stats here. AK, flick the screen over. What have you got up for us there? Look at that. In the first 7 overs, Lucknow only scored 1 boundary. That was a 6, and that was from the heavy strike rate and the heavy bat of KL Rahul, who scored 29 runs off 33 balls. They lost a couple of early wickets, obviously, through that power play, De Kock and Stoinis. But if you look at other teams continue to try and go a little bit harder, even if they lose wickets through that power play, because they know if they don't get around that 50 mark, all of a sudden they are well behind the 8 ball. But one thing I really love about this is that they were in trouble last night. They sent Pandya in there to try and do a job. He didn't come off, but Paran and Badoni out the end were sensational to get them to 4 for 165. Now, you might look at the flogging that they got last night, but you've got to sit back and go, right, they're playing Sunrisers Hyderabad. They were in trouble. They needed to get a reasonable total on their ball on the board for their bowlers to defend. So instead of going extremely hard, they played a little conservative, kept wickets in hand, and got them to a total where they were still in a position where they were half a chance. 165 on the board is not a bad score. But when you're coming up against Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, the bowlers are going to get punished. And look out these stats here. 2 overs for 29, 47, 34, 37, 19. Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a bowler in this IPL bowling against Sunrisers Hyderabad. These guys were on a hiding to nothing last night. They couldn't turn things around. The momentum was just in the batsman's favour and they couldn't stop it. And that's one thing that Lucknow probably have to think about when they continue this tournament. Right, if they're in that situation again, what would they do differently? That's a question they'll ask themselves. I just want to quickly talk about Badoni before we go on to Head and Abhishek Sharma. One thing I liked about Badoni last night, he was moving across the crease at certain times. He would play the ramp shot over leg side, but he wouldn't get in position to play that ramp shot too early, because he allowed himself just to pick up the line of the ball. If the bowler had followed him and gone outside off stump, he was still in a position to be able to adjust and hit through the cover region. I really liked the way that he handled those tough situations out that back end and didn't overcommit with any preemption of a shot, if that's a word, or preempt a shot. So go across the line. You're looking for that ramp shot, but you know that the bowler might go wide. So you still stay tall and adjust to when the bowler lets go of the ball. And once you pick up the line, you go through the shot. So well done to Badoni there. Right, who are we talking about? Who batted last night for Sunrisers Hyderabad? There was only two of them. Look out these two, 75 off 28 balls, Travis Head. Abhishek Sharma, 89 off 30. I thought Abhishek Sharma played brilliantly last night, and that's one of the best innings I've ever seen from Travis Head. They're unstoppable once they get going. But as I said earlier, if they lose these two early on, then they're in a bit of trouble. And if they're playing in finals, and I think the finals are down there in Chennai, and it's a little bit slower, the wicket, a little bit too paced, that might trouble the aggression of the Sunrisers Hyderabad and might have to get them to change the way that they go about it. But I wouldn't change it. You're playing that style. Keep it going. Move forward. Move ahead. So well done to Sunrisers Hyderabad. They're moving up the table and they're going to be very hard to beat. But as I said, they've got to finish in the top two if they want a chance in that final four in the finals to take out the title. Right, we've got the big game tonight. Let's move in there quickly. RCB up against Punjab, and we're up there at Dharamsala. I wish I was up there and been able to walk up the mountains. It's a beautiful spot. But Punjab on their home turf or playing home games don't do well. And Bengaluru are finding form at the right time. Their bowlers are in sync. Their batters, both out the top and the middle order, are finding form, except for Green and Maxwell, and they might do the job tonight. And when we look at Punjab Kings, they've got a very solid bowling lineup, but their batters have indifferent form, and that could be a problem tonight. So let's just look at who these two teams have beaten throughout the tournament to get where they're at the moment, because both of them are on 4 wins. Both of them need 3 wins to get to the final. RCB have beaten Punjab. That was on the 25th of March. Sunrisers Hyderabad is the biggest scalp that they've had, but they've had Gujarat Titans twice, who are the worst team in the competition for my liking at the moment. So for me, if you look at the wins that they have, they really haven't had too many big scalps. So that goes against them when I'm making the analysis and the decision who I'm going to go for tonight. Punjab Kings, who have they played? Who have they won against? They've won against Delhi Capitals, Gujarat Titans again, but KKR and CSK. They've had some 3 big wins throughout the tournament. So all of a sudden, the favour goes back into the Kings. Who have they got left to play to have a chance to get through to the 4? Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals and CSK, who RCB have. So if they beat all those 3 teams, all of a sudden they've knocked 2 out. That's Delhi Capitals, CSK. They'll knock Punjab Kings out tonight. And that sort of brings the table in a better position for them to move forward into that top 4. Punjab Kings obviously have to win tonight, and they've got Rajasthan Royals and Sunrisers Hyderabad. So both teams have got some big matches moving forward if they want a chance to go into the 4. And looking at that, RCB have probably got a better chance than Punjab Kings. But anyway, let's go to the matchups tonight before we have a special guest. And we might be chopping and changing tonight with 2 guests. 2 guests on at the same time. They're mates. So what's the matchup that I've got first here, AK? Well, it's not a matchup, actually. It's, we've got Maxwell against Shahar and Bra. Now, Maxwell has had poor form with the bat. Patidar has carried the load there, as well as Jakes in the middle order. But out the back end, he's got a lift as well. And he's very dominant against spin bowling. And these 2 bowlers, Chahar and Bra, have been very economical, and Chahar's starting to get into the wickets as well, and they are going to be tough customers tonight. So Maxwell, if he's going to take a risk out of form against these 2, that is the matchup I'm looking for. Can Maxwell find some form? And also, that's a big matchup for me because Maxwell can change the game out the back end. But these 2 against Danish Karthik as well and Patidar will be crucial for Punjab's chances. Spin to win tonight, and Punjab Kings have got the two better spinners. And Chaha, I am going to mention this. I'm looking at his stats at the moment. He's very economical, picking up crucial wickets. I am starting to think he would be a better option than Chahal in the T20 World Cup squad because he's got more variety. Right, the next matchup that we've got tonight is Rabada against these two. Du Plessis, and who's the other one sitting there? Oh, it's Virat Kohli. Look at him. Virat Kohli, you can't miss him. But this is also crucial. Du Plessis has found form. He's aggressive. He's getting them off to a good start in the power play, taking the pressure off Kohli. So Rabada will be trying to attack his ex-captain. If he gets his ex-captain out early, then all of a sudden the pressure will be on Kohli to take charge of the momentum, and as well as Jark. So Kohli might have to change his rhythm. So that is a crucial matchup there. Now, there's a couple of bowlers. There is one bowler that I'm worried about for Punjab Kings. This is Arshdeep Singh. He's not finding his Yorker out the back end in the final overs. And last game, in that final over that he bowled against CSK, he got a wicket, fourth ball, caught out in a deep. Curran's taken the catch, but Curran was shaking his head with Arshdeep's tactics. He wasn't executing. He didn't seem to be bowling to the game plan, and Curran was getting frustrated in that last game. So watch for Curran and Arshdeep Singh's communication tonight, and look for Arshdeep Singh to have a bit of improvement in the death. And he's going to be under pressure tonight against Danish Karthik. So that will sort of be proof in the pudding whether that is a good option for him to go to that World Cup later this year, because he's going to be tested tonight. And the other bowlers that they've got there, I'm really liking the bowling lineup because they're just starting to find form. I like the way that Curran, Rabada open up the two spinners. But the other bloke there, Harsha Patel, I'm loving what I'm seeing, and his death bowling out the end as well with that slower one where it dips and bowling through the middle overs with the spinners. I just think he's starting to find the touch that he had a couple of years ago when he did represent India, and I'm starting to think he could have been an option to go to India as a fourth option, since you don't have Shami as one of the extra quicks, just because of his death bowling and those middle overs. But I think this is a great bowling attack that is going to test RCB's batting performance, or batters who have really found touch. But the big worry for me is Punjab's batting. They've been so inconsistent, and I just think the RCB bowlers are going to take charge there and get RCB over tonight. And those bowlers, Punjab Kings, their work ethic is going to be ruined by the batters tonight. So RCB to win tonight. Now, I've gone for 13 minutes. Let's get me off with talking and get the guests in. We've got Aryan here as well. And we've got while we're getting Aryan in here, we've got Cricket Slayer. Hogg, how can I join in with you and talk? Okay, that's a very good one. There's a form there, Google form on the side, and you can fill that in. And Cricket Slayer, if you get in there, you could be my next guest, and hopefully you do get there. While we're getting Aryan on, Base Busters, Hoggy, will it be a high-scoring match tonight? Well, the other night in Dharmasala, it was a low-scoring affair, but that was during the day. Tonight, there might be a little bit of dew, and hopefully the ball comes onto the bat and we do have a high-scoring affair. Hopefully, RCB bat first, because I think they're in better form and they'll have a chance to really take the game away and put on a big total and really stir the pot for Punjab Kings batters to chase. Anupam, is it time for RCB to go back to Virat for captaincy, or look for any other Indian captain for the captaincy next year? Anupam, if they go to the mega auction next year, and they throw all their players in, they will have to look for another captain. And if I was picking the team, I'd always look for a local player to captain the team, simply because it gives you more options to chop and change your overseas players because you can only play 4 overseas players. And if you really want to be clever with it, you can play 3 overseas players and bring another overseas player in as an impact player. So it gives you a bit of variety there. So, yes, Anupam, I would go for an Indian captain for RCB. All right. Piyush, this is a good question. Aryan, did you watch the game last night, Aryan?
I had watched the second innings, so I
Second
watched
innings.
the aggressive batting from SRH.
Right. Now, did you, Piyush has asked here, hey, Hoggy, what are your thoughts on what happened between LSG owner and KL Rahul? Did you know what happened last night?
Yeah, it was surfacing around social media as well. When the owner had a chat with Rahul, and he seemed kind of aggressive.
Seemed very aggressive. Okay. Well, sometimes the owners pay big bucks for their team, and they expect better results. They've had a bit of success over the last couple of years, like now Super Giants. And sometimes, the emotions from the owners, because of the big spend they have there, they do go over the top. And that's what I really enjoyed about playing for RR, that's Rajasthan Royals and Kolkata Knight Riders, is the owners stayed out of the cricket business. They came into the change rooms, they enjoyed the company of the players, but they allowed us to do what we do best, and that's play cricket. And they just basically talk to the coaches, see how everything's going. What do we need to improve? Can we give you any more resources? And those two teams really operated well in that regard. And that's why CSK and Mumbai Indians have always been pretty dominant as well for those reasons. Now, we've got Aryan here. Sorry about that, Aryan. I should have introduced you a little better, but I was ramming into Piyush's question there as you came on.
No worries.
Now, you're over in Thailand. Hey, who's this? Who's this? Who's this here? Oh, we got Wafi back in here. You two.
Huggy, don't punish AK. I asked him to make me join.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. That is good. So you two are mates over there in Thailand and studying together.
Yeah.
Now, Aryan, you want to go into the economic space and go and study in England?
Yeah. Well, that's the aim.
That's the aim. Supply and demand. So you go for Mumbai Indians. They had big demand for Hardik Pandya, but he's given Mumbai Indians little supply. Would you say that?
Yeah, I guess so. But you could also say that the reaction from MF fans has kind of been a bit too aggressive and a bit too unreasonable, because it's not purely his fault. They blame. I think they put most of the blame on Hardik Pandya, but it's not purely his fault. So I don't think he deserves the amount of hate he's been receiving, and it definitely affects him, even though he may not show it on the TV. But it would definitely be affecting him.
I just love what you just said there. That's a great analysis of it. Players and people. It doesn't matter who you are. It can be the Prime Minister as well. The amount of breaths that they take before they go out there to face the music and under pressure like that to put on a face, it really drains the energy. And I think the fans have been overreactive. I do agree with you. And it wasn't his choice to captain Mumbai Indians. It was a collective choice, and I think Rohit wanted to step back as well. So you've got to leave him be in that. And Wafi, what do you reckon? Do you agree with us?
Yeah, I do agree with this. I think a player deserves respect for what he has done to his country, and especially a player like Hardik Pandya. He was part of India-Pakistan's win in MCG. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're not too worried about. You're not too worried about Mumbai Indians anyway, Wafi. You're with CSK.
Well, Hoggy, today I'm here to ask you for one thing. That is, the World Cup is coming up,
Yep.
and Aryan is a big Indian fan, and
Yep.
I'm Bangladeshi, but I love Babar Azam, Rizwan, Shaheen. I'm a Pakistan fan, and maybe maybe if you could let us join for the preview of India-Pakistan game, it would be great.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Yep. That will
Yeah,
that will happen.
that's
We might
why
get
that's why I'm
we might,
here. That's why I'm here. Because the thing is, I don't know about RCB and Punjab. To be really honest, after Fizz left, I left IPL as well. After Fizz left, I left
Yep.
IPL as well. Now I'm focused more on studying and on the World Cup. So I would let you
Well,
and Aryan speak. Yeah.
Yep, rightio, no drama. Now, Arian, you've got some questions for me. Let's get one out of the way before we go to toss time.
Sure. One question I had was, what are your playoff predictions for the season as we come towards the end of the season?
My playoff predictions. I think Sunrisers Hyderabad are going to play in qualifier 1, and I think they'll go against Rajasthan Royals. I think Kolkata Knight Riders will finish 3rd, and they will play against. I'm just looking at Delhi Capitals. They won't be able to get over Chennai Super Kings. Lucknow Super Giants, they've got a tough run of it. I think Kolkata Knight Riders will play Chennai Super Kings in qualifier 2, but I think Kolkata Knight Riders will have the better of Chennai. Sorry about that, Wifey. But I just think I think they'll have the better of them. I think Sunrisers Hyderabad will go straight through to the final, and Rajasthan Royals and Kolkata will play off in the eliminator. And I think Rajasthan Royals will go through and beat Sunrisers Hyderabad. I'd actually like to have a Rajasthan Royals Kolkata final, being both teams that I've played for. That would be a great thing for me. Yeah. Yep.
I think SRH is going to win. Pat Cummins is going to take the IPL trophy as well back to Australia and silence the crowd.
I think,
rightio.
I don't think RR will reach the final. I think the last few games they've not been playing to the standard that they have throughout the whole season. The bowling might have gotten a bit worse. I think think the final would be between KKR and SRH, and I think that would be a very entertaining final because both teams have been playing some aggressive cricket throughout the whole season, and I think that would be a great final to watch.
Oh, definitely. I think the other reason for KKR not getting into the final out the back end there is because they'll probably lose Salt to go back to England. So that will be a bit of a problem for them as well because he's been very dominant out the top end. Hey, you guys watched the game last night. Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma celebrated out the back end. And if anyone's seen this on the comments as well, did you notice that Travis Head went like that? How can we turn it around? So, that's a loser sign here in Australia type thing. And I'm thinking... Did he just send it off to Justin Langer, the ex-coach from Australia in the Lucknow Super Giants bench?
No, Hoggy. I think he showed that to the blue jersey. Head has serious problems with the blue jersey. Whenever he sees the blue jersey, he keeps on smacking them wherever they go. RCB, LSG, India, any team. Head just hates it.
Arian, I reckon this is going to be good. India versus Pakistan. I can see the banter in the schoolyard there. That is absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's a bit like when you're following soccer teams or Aussie rules footy teams here. You've all got your different teams, and there's always that banter, and that's what makes the world go around. So that's good. Now, do you guys know Aksh Patel?
Oh no,
yeah.
no way.
Watching. So we've got Vivian Seagal here as well. I disagree. The Capitals will qualify and go on to win the IPL. These subpar teams like
No
CSK
way.
and Mumbai Indians may have trophies, but they are not playing good cricket. Hey, Vivan Seagal, I am not going to disagree with you there. Delhi Capitals do have a chance, but they need other teams to lose and things to go their way. You've got to remember that Chennai Super Kings have got 3 games left and Delhi Capitals have only got 2 games left. And Chennai Super Kings are playing Gujarat Titans, who are terrible this year, as well as Rajasthan Royals and RCB. So they've got a chance to go through to the 8. So you guys know Vivian as well, do you? Or Vivan?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is good. Miles have got you all on. That would have been good.
Hoggy, I've
Mighty
introduced you to my school.
Yes.
I've introduced you to my school. You're not popular. You're the #1 YouTuber in Bangkok.
It's gonna be
awesome. That'd be awesome. I've got to come over to the
his most
school.
watched live stream.
I've got to come over to the school and play a bit of backyard cricket with you. A bit of tennis ball cricket.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
Punjab Kings have won the toss and have elected to bowl first. What do you think about that? Aryan?
I think RCB would have done the same. In
Yep.
Dharamshala, history has shown that teams chasing generally do go on to win, especially in T20s. We haven't seen many matches from Dharamshala this season, so I guess it's still new to the players, and this match is pretty vital because whoever loses is out. So I'm supporting RCB. Their fans are probably the most loyal out of all the teams, and when they win IPL, if they win IPL, it'll be the biggest celebration across social media.
So when you say RCB are the most loyal fans, what do you mean by that?
In terms of their support, despite not having won the IPL, but they've come so close. In 2016, they lost the final to SRH. They've come so close, and the fans still support them year in and year out. And I think that's why they're the most loyal fans.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking at Punjab Kings as well. They seem to be getting a few more people come through the gates up there in their new venue at Mohali, the new stadium. So that's a good sign as well for IPL moving forward. I'm just looking at the report here. Curran has mentioned that it looks like they've watered the wicket a bit and it might do something early. So that might be another factor why Punjab have bowled first, and hopefully they can make use of it with Rabada and Curran opening the bowling. So, and that will, when they've watered the wicket as well, it gets a little tacky and that helps spin. So I think Rahul and Bra come into the play there. So, and it gets a bit dewy out the back end. Punjab Kings could bat aggressively. So while we're waiting for the teams to come up, what's your next question, Aryan?
You mentioned Abhishek Sharma previously. So my next question is, do you think it's too early or too young? Do you think these players are too young to be selected for T20 World Cup? So players like Mayank Yadav, Rinku Singh, Abhishek Sharma, and Jake Fraser McGurk as well. These players have shown to be in IPL, especially that they're able to handle top class bowlers and Mayank Yadav top class batsmen. So do you think they deserved a spot in the T20 World Cup?
Well, yes. I think Mayank Yadav, he's probably been the pick of me out of all the juniors because the bowlers have really got a bit of tap this tournament. And when he's been able to get on the park, he's generally done really well. But I think with Mayank, I think he could go and have a chat to Pat Cummins and just talk to him about how you understand your body, because Pat Cummins spent 2 to 2.5 years out of the game where he was recovering from injury and getting his body right. And that has played a big part in his endurance now and getting his body to be able to perform and take the workload that's on now. Fast bowling, playing all 3 forms of the game, is probably the hardest thing that you can do in cricket. So they've really got to look out after Ma Young. Rinku Singh, I think he could play a little bit more for India, but he sort of dropped off a little bit under pressure this year with KKR, just with the odd games. But I'm probably expecting a little bit too much of him after what he did last year. Jake Fraser McGurk, yes, I think he's got the talent. I'm actually starting to think that he probably could have got picked in front of probably Inglis for the T20 World Cup in the Australian squad, and kept Matthew Wade there with a little bit of experience and had Matthew Wade keep. So then you've got that extra aggression there with Jake Fraser McGurk. But the only thing with Jake Fraser McGurk, just with extra pace, and if you've got a quick wicket and he's up against the new ball, I'm still worried about that quick short ball to the body around about chest height, neck height, because he's looking to get on that front foot all the time, and it's very hard when he's got that weight on the front foot to get back and play that pull shot. But he's handling it okay at the moment. But Abhishek Sharma, I mentioned in a 1 minute vlog before the game yesterday, that I'm worried about Sunrisers Hyderabad inexperience in this game under pressure, because it was a must-win game for them to present themselves in the top four. And he stood up and delivered. So for me, he's ready to go. Those big moments like that, he's ready to go. And if I remember correctly, I felt that he was in charge of the innings before Head was. I thought he was making a bigger impact.
Yes, he was.
Head for a bit there. So, that just shows me that he's ready to go, and he's probably in a T20 front. He's probably more valuable than a Jaswell in your squad. And if you're going to have Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli there, you'd need someone like that aggressive Abhishek Sharma to open the batting with one of those two, so that there's someone there putting pressure on the opposition bowlers and trying to be as aggressive as you possibly can to set up that inning. So, I think the earlier you get them in, the better for me. Give them that experience. That's a great question.
I think BCCI has a problem in the future, and it is a good problem to have, is that they have lots of good young openers, and in the team only 2 will open, and a lot of these openers don't really have experience batting down the order. Like now, India will have Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Gaikwad, Kishan, Abhishek Sharma, all these guys open. But it'll be interesting to see who will be after Rohit and Kohli retire, who will be India's main 2 openers.
Yeah, look, don't take this as a rude statement, anyone that's listening, because Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma have done wonders for Indian cricket. The game is moving, the game is changing, and I think by the time that those 2 are ready to sort of fold or give up playing for India in the T20 game, I think the next generation are going to take the game to a higher level, and they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, and I think they will be they'll be better players in that T20 arena than what probably Virat and Rohit are. Probably more so Rohit than Virat. I think Virat's going to have a big T20 World Cup this year. And I just he's just finding his feet out the right time, and he's got a strike rate in the last couple of games of over 150. That's good leading into T20 World Cup. So I think he's upping the ante, and he's getting ready for that T20 World Cup. And you remember that shot that he played against Harris Ralph out the MCG in that last T20 World Cup? Oh, wifey, that sailed. And that's what Harris Ralph's going to get when they play against each other in the T20 World Cup this year.
I don't think Pakistan will actually be playing Harris Ralph because they selected Mohammad Amir as well. So I think pastry over for Pakistan would probably be Mohammad Amir, Shane Afridi, and Naseem Shah.
Yeah, no, that's right. But they haven't picked their squad, have they? I thought they were picking their squad after a couple of days.
I think they've already. Oh no!
The England series squad is probably the World Cup squad.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
England
yeah.
series
They've
squad
released
would be
their
probably the World Cup
England
squad.
squad.
Yeah. No, that's right. So, yeah, or they could be resting one of them, but I'd be surprised if he's there. I think they've got Nazim Shah. He has been bowling sensationally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he might run through India. I'm warning you two.
My,
No,
my, my,
no
bet,
way.
my bet is
Don't
my
even
bet is
imagine. Don't even imagine.
Rohit Kohli, Sky out within power play.
Yep.
However, the ground that they're playing in New York,
Yep.
apparently the boundaries are smaller than the boundaries at Chinnaswamy. So we could be seeing a very high scoring match between India Pakistan there.
Well, if the smaller the boundaries, the bigger favourite is to India, as such, because they're more aggressive batters. Look at you, Wifey.
Come on,
You go-
Hoggy, no. Babar Azam,
Yeah, well,
Rizwan.
he can't.
So bad. So
You
bad.
can't leave 5 balls in the power play just to get used to the wicket. Come on.
Exactly.
No, Babar
Exactly.
he's a
And
fantastic player and fantastic bowler.
yeah.
Hey, we've got the Punjab's Kings team here, and talking about lower order batters, Shashank Sharma. He's doing a reasonable job this year. So we've got Curran, Bairstow, Prabhasimran, Rosso, Livingston's coming back in. Who's Livingston come in for? Shashank, Ashutosh, Archahar, Hashel, and Arsdeep. Kavarappa is in as well. So that's quite interesting there. And who have we got there? Gee whiz. I'm going blind. I'm going small with this. And we've got RCB, the Plessis, Kohli, Jakes, Patadar, Lomraw, Green, Maxwell not playing. That is a very big move and a good move. Kartik, Singh, Sharma, Siraj, and Ferguson. So Ferguson, Green, Jakes, and Du Plessis, the overseas players. And I don't mind Lockie Ferguson coming into this team. I think he's going to be a good acquisition because if you look at the game the other night, these players struggled against a bit of pace. The top order struggled against a bit of pace. So, and I haven't seen too much of Kavarappa. Any of you guys seen anything about Kavarappa?
Not really, no.
So they've taken Kavarappa in there. Actually, go back to that team. I did mention. So Rabada's not. Oh, hang on. Rabada's got to be in there. No, Rabada's not playing.
Wow.
Is Punjab bowling?
Punjab
Yeah,
are
the one
bowling.
that
Yeah.
Dawson chose to bowl. Yes. Would
So that's
that be because?
interesting there.
Would that
Rosso,
be? Would that might be
Curran,
because? Is he
Livingston.
voluntarily taking rest? Maybe to prepare for the World Cup.
No, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be taking rest there. So they've gone for extra batting, with Livingston coming in for Rabada. So that's an interesting one because Rabada's probably your main bowler, especially against the top order. But he might be carrying a little bit of a niggle, so that's probably why he's not in there. But Punjab bowling first, that gives them a little bit of advantage to stay in the contest, and they'll be really relying on their spinners to continue to be economical against this potent RCB batting lineup. And I actually don't mind Lomraw coming in. I think you need that Indian depth, and I think having a left-handed batsman in there will counteract both the left-hand off-spin and right-hand leg spin as well. So that will give Punjab Kings captain Curran something to think about. So a few good moves there, few good moves. But looking at these two teams, and Punjab Kings bowling first, taking a risk of not having Rabada in that team and strengthening up their batting lineup. I'm starting to favour Punjab Kings to win tonight because they'll be chasing with a little bit of dew. Would you agree with me, or you're telling me that I'm talking rubbish?
I would agree with you to a certain extent, but I don't like Sam Curran opening, and I understand that's because of Shikhar Dhawan and Jitesh Sharma being out, but yeah, I mean, Sam Curran opening, he's tried it the last few games. He hasn't really been successful. And openers, especially nowadays, when 200, 220 plus is a common score, you really need openers to get going from the first ball to develop the team's innings towards the end. So I think that's one problem Punjab might face, but then they also have that depth in Shashank Singh, Ashutosh Sharma as well. So they have tried to recover that problem.
Yep. What do you think about that, Waffy?
Yeah, I think he's right. I think the way Shashank Singh has been playing and Ashutosh Sharma, I think this has been probably one of the biggest achievement for India cricket in this IPL because Shashank Singh, I think he was mistakenly taken in the auction by Preeti Zinta.
Yeah.
I think this is the greatest ever mistake in IPL. Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me. I think I called Shashank Sharma a little earlier in the when you asked me the question about youngsters coming in and he batting down the order. I think he's just been absolutely phenomenal. But I remember they had dropped Jeff Marsh. That's Mitchell Marsh's father from the Australian team. He was vice captain, opening the batting, and they dropped him just before the Perth test. That's his home test. They could have played him there. It was the 5th test of the series, but they didn't. They wanted to bring in Taylor, and it was meant to be Mark Taylor, but it wasn't Mark Taylor. They picked a Peter Taylor to open the batting, and they got it wrong. So he only played one test match. So sometimes mistakes work and sometimes they don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about the Australia choosing Mitchell Marsh over Pat Cummins as their captain?
I think. Look, I'm close to Mitchell and the family. I'm Jeff's my hero. So where I grew up in a country town here, Jeff was from the same cricket association, and the families know each other. So I'm very pleased that Mitchell Marsh has got that captaincy role. I think he deserves it. I think he's the glue of the Australian team. He's a bit like Andrew Simons as such. He's the funny man. So when there's a bit of tension in there, he breaks it down very quickly and doesn't let the smoke turn into a big bushfire. So he's very good in that regard. So he is a leader in his own right. Pat Cummins, the way that he's captain Sunrisers Hyderabad is unbelievable. I think he's been fantastic. And to be able to be a foreign captain and just walk into a team as such and not really know everyone in that team, I think he's adjusted really well and shown his true leadership capability. I think the reason why they've got Mitchell Marsh captaining the T20 team, they made that move a few months earlier because they started to think that Pat Cummins needed a rest because of his bowling workload. So they made someone else the T20 captain. So that's why they've done it. I think Mitchell Marsh still uses Pat Cummins a lot just for a little bit of advice and a helping hand as well. So I don't mind Mitchell Marsh being captain for those reasons. But the one thing with Mitchell, I'm really worried about his hamstring. Will he get there over to the World Cup? If he doesn't, then I think Fraser McGurk will replace him. And and I think Fraser McGurk should be starting to prepare to go to the World Cup just in case, because anything can happen there. Just before you ask another question, we better just get one from the comment section here. This is from Wali Boyo. Is Wali from your school?
No.
No?
No.
What do you think about Virat Kohli's strike rate this IPL?
Hoggy, I think this is my brother.
This is your brother?
Yeah.
Does he like Virat Kohli?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know why. I don't know why he supports India. I don't know why.
I think in terms of the question, people criticize Virat Kohli's strike rate this season, but they go against him in IPL. But then when it's time for the World Cup, and Virat Kohli is carrying India like how he did against Pakistan in 2022 at MCG, and then they just love him after. So I think it's unreasonable to be questioning his strike rate when he has he has made lots of historical wins for India in several occasions, day in day out, and I think if he's fit and available, you just can't not select him. He's like the greatest player of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I probably agree with your comments there, and I think his strike rate's been probably better than most other years this year. I think it was 148 leading to the middle of where we are now, and then he's increased that. He's in the 150s, 155 around that mark now. But you're trying to compare it to the likes of Travis Head and these other special innings that we're seeing, and you can't compare that because he's a different player to everyone else, and his role is to try and bat through the innings. And when he does bat through the innings, he really makes it up out the back end. So I think you've got to look at the role that he plays. He's there to bat through the innings. Plessis there to be aggressive. Jakes is there to be aggressive, and that's why they picked Maxwell and Green. They're expecting them to do the business of that aggression through those middle overs. So for me, the RCB setup is right in their batting department, the way they've chosen it. They just haven't executed well enough at the start of the season. That's why they're down where they are now. So Virat Kohli, yep, we've summed that up. Now, Ariam, what's your next question?
So my next question would be, we've kind of spoken about this already a bit, but what are your thoughts on India and Australia's T20 World Cup squad? Who do you think are missed out, and who do you think they should have selected instead?
So I'm a little bit for India. The only mystery there for me is Chahal. I've just been very worried about him bowling to left-handed batsmen. He just hasn't had the variety there, and he doesn't have a decent wrong, which has really pressured them through this IPL. He doesn't have a dominant back spinner as well to really cramp them up for room on the legs. So for me, he's lost answers to left-hand batsmen, and I think that's a big worry going into this year's World Cup. So I'd rather probably Chahar from tonight as the leg spin option if they wanted to go the extra spinner. But I thought you don't have Shami. I thought Harsha Patel has been unlucky there. I think he's just been bowling really well. And when you see that slow ball come out with a bit of dip, I'm just starting to think they could have gone with him. So that's a little bit of hindsight. That's the only worry I have with India. With Australia, just taking two keepers over there in Inglis and Wade. When you've got someone like Fraser McGurk setting the world alight here, I just think you could have had that impact player of Fraser McGurk probably being put in the squad just out that last minute instead of Inglis. And I've been pretty hard on Inglis. I absolutely love Josh Inglis. He's a player that's adaptable. I'd love to see him play in the IPL. I think he's got a lot to offer. But I just think for the balance of the team, if I'm sitting there as a selector, I would have taken the punt on Fraser McGurk to go in there instead of Inglis. The other player that I'm a little bit uncertain of is Ashton Agar, left arm off spin all rounder. Just don't know whether he's giving you enough with the bat to be able to have him in there as an all-rounder, and he didn't play in the last couple of games for the Perth Scorchers here. So I'm a little bit concerned about Ashton Agar being the second spinner. But I know that he'll stand up and give it his best shot. So I've just criticised two West Australians, my homegrown talent here. But when you ask that question, that would be my
you did speak a lot on Jake Fraser McGurk, but one concern that was raised is that if Jake Fraser McGurk would have been selected, who would have opened for Australia? Because now you have Head, Warner, and Jake Fraser McGurk.
I actually would have. Asked David Warner to go down to number 3, and
Oh,
if they
really?
lost, if they lost an early wicket, then he could come in and just play that experienced role. So you have Head, who's going really well in IPL, just that ultra aggression, and you have Fraser McGurk. You've taken a big risk on him if you had picked him. And you put him in there up front so he doesn't have time to think about it, and just let him play with that while he's got that youth behind him and that lack of fear. There's no fear there. Get him in there early and have the more experienced player play a different role. I think that's the way that I would have done it.
Come on, mate. It should be David Warner. Come on. It should be David Warner opening. Come on.
His strike rate's way too low now. Look, I think David Warner's had a fantastic career, but I just love the way that you got on the bandwagon there, and I love that. I love it. But that's the way I go about it. And you worry about Babar Azam, I worry about David Warner.
No, I have to worry about Babar and Shakib, 2 teams.
Yeah, Shakib. Well, Tuscan's going all right at the moment, from what I see.
Yeah,
they've got strong competition against there in Zimbabwe.
Group that Bangladesh is in.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was just saying that group that Bangladesh is in with South Africa, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, and Nepal, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's quite hard for Bangladesh to make it out of that group.
No.
I don't think Bangladesh is making it out of that group.
I reckon they'll have if there's spin over in the wickets that they play on against South Africa, they'll have a chance of going through.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We're going. No. We're making it through.
I think South Africa 1, Sri Lanka 2, and Bangladesh 3.
Okay, then I think Pakistan 1, USA 2, India 3.
USA 2.
USA, right. if we were playing baseball, actually, if they bring a couple of baseballers in to swing that blade, they might be able to get a few more boundaries to give themselves a chance. Now, have you got any more questions, Arian? Because the game's about to start in 3.
I had one question, but it was about what do you think has been the main cause for these high scores in this season?
That's a really good question because I've sort of been looking at bowling. Have they been executing as well as they have, or is it a bit of that and flat wickets? And looking at it, I think it's probably more to do with the wickets that are being produced. I think they've been too flat. But in saying that, I don't think the bowlers have really adjusted to the pressure that the batsmen have put on. So they haven't really executed their Yorkers. I don't think they've used the Yorker and the opportunity to use 2 bounces in an over appropriately. I think they could have utilised that a lot better. So that's a tactic where fast bowlers could use down the track. I think spinners have done reasonably well. I think they've adjusted quite nicely. They've been quite economical, actually. If you look at the list, I think 9 out of the top 13 bowlers have got the best economies. That's with more than 100 balls being bowled from those spinners. So I think spinners have adjusted, but it's probably more the power play overs where the ball's not doing as much as probably in previous years, and the death overs, bowlers just aren't quite executing where they'd like to go. And if you look at the stats this year, I looked at it quickly. We've got a higher strike rate this year. It's the first time that we've gone into the 9s overall. So that's 9 runs and over plus. But wickets are falling out. I think it's around about 31 or 32 runs per wicket. And that's the best, I think, ever in IPL's IPL history. So I don't know
if you see the social media, but people are saying that this is scripted. It's by Jay Shah. That is scripting.
They say that every year.
Total nonsense.
They say that every year.
But the way the game is going on, the way Travis Head is playing, it's like a video game. 167 in 10 overs. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's
He'll play like this
crazy.
in the IPL, and then when he plays India,
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
there's no way that you can script that. No way you can script that.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely no way. Because at the end of the day, the batsman at some stage has got to have a mistimed shot with
Yeah.
the speed that the balls are going down there. And look, if you're looking at something being scripted, I would have thought that MI would always be in the top 4 because they're one of your bigger teams, aren't they? So
Yeah.
they're one of your biggest fan bases. RCB as well. So you'd see CSK, RCB, and Mumbai Indians and probably KKR up the top all the time. Maybe Gujarat as well. So, I think it does get a bit frustrating there. I think any more questions before we go?
I think that's all. Done.
Oh, right. Now this is Bangladesh. Vivian Sagal. He's gone, what do you think about the recent video of Shakib physically assaulting a groundsman who was asking to take a picture? Truly disgusting behaviour. What happened there?
Hoggy, I think I should answer that. The thing is, I don't know why, but Bangladeshi people have, I don't know what problems with Shakib. It's probably due to Shakib Tamim incident. The video that got viral, that was actually fake. What happened was they were just kidding around. Shakib did go and take a picture with him later, and this was posted in the media, but probably not to the whole media. It was probably posted in Bangladesh only. But as a Bangladeshi fan, I would defend Shakib here. Maybe yes, Shakib might have got that aggression, but probably Virat Kohli also has that aggression. So the thing is, no, this thing happens in cricket. They are both professional cricketers, and I think they might have a bit of aggression, but they're truly gentlemen. I met Shakib, and he's a true gentleman. That's what I can say. And probably you also met Shakib for Renegades.
Yeah, and I played with him out KKR.
Oh, yeah. Did you win the trophy together?
Yep. No, we didn't win the trophy together. No.
Okay.
I think there was one season he was there with me, at least, yeah. I don't know whether I played with him at Renegades. I don't think I was at the Renegades when he was there.
Probably, but I remember he playing in the Renegades. I don't remember was that with you or not, but I remember he played in the Renegades.
Yeah, I think I played against him, not with him. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Arian, brilliant stuff, brilliant questions. Waffy, you're going to have to change teams.
No. Come on, mate. Come on, no.
No, it's great having you two on again. Now, you make sure you keep the banter up in the schoolyard. And thanks again very much. Thanks again for joining me. It was so great to have you on there, and that didn't come out right. It was absolutely special to have you two on here, and hopefully we can join up during the World Cup and really have a crack against
and see
India
Pakistan winning.
Yeah, in your dreams, in your dreams.
I'll tell you what. During halfway out the halfway, mate, we might also have a bit of a session and take the mickey out of each other as well, because the game will be in the balance there.
Now, Pakistan would have won. Pakistan would have been ahead by miles.
I think me and Wafi would probably watch the match together.
Yeah. No, that would be good. Well, if you're watching the match together, you can sit in the same room and we can have a bit of fun. But anyway, guys.
We can.
Yeah. Thanks very much for having me. We better close this up because everyone would have gone by now. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining me on Hog Out. We had a fun time today, and the big game, Punjab Kings taking on RCB. Punjab batting second, little bit of due there. The advantages to them tonight. So let's see how they go. But it's a must-win affair for both teams. Whoever wins keeps afloat in the competition. But good luck. Have a great night, and see you next time on Hog Out.